I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is September 9th, Tuesday, 2025. Hope you had a good day today. So we talked about it yesterday. Something similar to either buying up immediately, which they did. We expanded, but then we had a failed high. And then was it possible to come into this guy right here? So we had this liquidity imbalance and breakout, but I guess tagging, not even tagging it, but getting real close to points away from it was the goal here. And that's what they did. So, and that's framework. That's understanding what the possibilities are. And you can see we get the push up. So we get the expand. So we had an expansion here, retracement. And then we're looking for another expansion. This does not take out that high. This is super dirty. That's obvious that everybody wants to pull through this, right? So they keep whipping it back, right? And then trendline phantom, liquidity too easy, and then comes and retraces, and then look to the ticks away, buddy, points away, literally. You can see the Asia low was not taken out in today's price action as well. So until we got the rate at the 10 o'clock 4-hour candle, but we get to this -1 standard deviation, and then coupled with that, and then you'll get into some more details. Look at the 1 hour. Look at the body sitting inside yesterday's PM session. So this is the AM session. Starker is more important. PM session is also important, but you can see the body sitting in there, and then they pushed back up. So you get an expansion here you get a consolidation here. You want to see, if it's going to consolidate, you do want to see a raid of some liquidity before you buy back up, and that's what they did. So you got an expansion down here, and then it reversed with an expansion. So expansion is obviously a reversal. Something similar in this right here, something also on the top side right here, right? So push up, push down. So expansion, so, but in general, this is the higher low internal, and then they're coming up to squeeze, and then from this range from here to here, they're pulling back in. So on the right side of the curve, you got the buys, and talked about this could be a possible sell model, right? And that's what it did. And I said it didn't have to take out the low in the sell model, but and sure enough, they came back. Just sloppy price action as well, though. But what was I gonna say? Yeah. So, anyways, reversal here, and let's go into the smaller time frame. Here's a 5-minute. You'll see on the 15-minute. We also, besides that -1, we also got into that 50% of yesterday's opening range gap, which obviously was not. It was empty. And then you had these two guys right here. See these two guys right here? A little too obvious to not come and get them as well. And that's what they did. As you see, look at the higher lows here. It's just constant, right? And then on this side of the curve, on the left side, you're going to see the higher highs and higher lows. Failed high right here. And then on the right side, obviously, you're going to see the lower low and lower high. So if you understood that, a lot of details, a lot we could talk about. But, the exhaustion here on the wicks, coming to raid that at 9:30, all above the midnight level. The best sells of the day is going to be above that. You can see that we're rejecting it in a sort of sense. But in general, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low for the finale here, and then you get the reversal here. So the reversal, you can see it's going to be better on a 1 minute, but you can see here this last down candle, we hit that on the 5-minute twice. Perfectly there. I'm not going to draw it there, but for me, it was on the 1 minute easier, but I understood the flow. And here's today's first imbalance. Let me go to a 1 minute here, but just wanted to kind of show the 5. But and then you got your built liquidity here, and coming for it pretty much. And let's go to a 1 minute. I can make this short, man. See this? So, okay. So 9:30 right away comes and sweeps this guy by a hair. See that right there? Pulls back in. All right. So God, there's so much I can fucking say, bro. It's crazy. But okay, Asia low here, and then once we're below here, you got these guys here. But point is that They come back to the first imbalance of the AM session here, and we push up, and then we seal the opening range gap here, right? But you got flow, and this is super dirty price action. You got candle. Where's the signs that it's coming down? Well, you have rejection here. You can't even get no closure of candles. Number one, number two, they rated that. Number three, back and forth candles on each other, right? No imbalances whatsoever, right? The first imbalance is actually at 950. So, pushing back down, sealing it, look at these lows right here, super dirty, right? But you're getting a leg down. So you already have your structure, lower low right here from that lower high, and you push back up. And you think this is resistance. In reality, it's just, that's the real lower high. And then where's the lower low? You see it, right? Lower low. And then we come down for a lower high. So we got that flow, right? And then you can see this is the PM sessions. And then you can see here, where's also the signs on the wall, all right? You can see on the 15-minute, look at the rejections and the bodies there. On the 5-minute, you'll be able to see that too. Then they come in here. Look when they come in here and they take these guys out, right? Super dirty, right? But no candle closures whatsoever. More wicks, okay? So where's the more signs it's happening? Well, it doesn't shoot off, right? And the price action comes down here. You see this? This is not hard to see, right? You'll see, look at this, it's fire. You'll see that we'll blow through this candle. Now we're underneath that midnight level again. And then it comes into here. It shouldn't even be coming any lower than this if it's buying, right? Okay, so what happens? Well, now you see this first imbalance dragged out, right? And I could even draw just an inversion right here, this bullish one right here, and push it out. You'll see the bodies in there, but you can see the bodies pretty much staying there. And then using that top 25% as resistance. And then boom, right here. See that? You shouldn't be getting this. Right, but then you get this candle coming down here. Now, it's like I did this just so I could save it. Now you can see that, okay, we can't even get bodies on the top side of it. It's just another break. And again, price shouldn't be here. This is a sell. I mean, 1,000%. You already know what the options should be on the top side and bottom side are, right? The bottom side, obviously, you have this liquidity. And then you have all these fucking dudes here, right? So, beautiful. Pushes down, right? And underneath there, gap for a moment. Boom. 2 drives. Beautiful, beautiful higher low right there. Look at this. 2 drives here. And then you get your little 3 down candles. That's an entry here. Where's the next push? Next entry. Just pushes up. This candle pushes up and comes back inside this last down candle, 1043. Okay, you see that? And we're using that. Okay, where's your next area? Well, after this would be the open here of this level. So we use this as a support block right here. All right, we got a low, high, lower low, push through, just basic support. You can see the body sitting inside. I'm just using the wicks, not the candle. And then obviously on a 5-minute, I could have drawn that other one that I showed you. And then from here, I could just do this too. See this? So, but in general, bam. So we're using that as support here. And once we came down, we push up real quick to wipe out the easy breakout sellers, right? Come back down to wipe out the easy buyers, right? And then they're referencing this level specifically. Look at the bodies all sitting there and bouncing into here. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the 50% right there, right? Boom. Doesn't take out this low. Now, this is dirty, but listen, this right here, if it's going to keep going, it's got to take this low out. Even if it wicked it, I would have been like, no, it's still coming down, right? But you understand that this is what they do. But remember, I'm going to draw just 3 lines. I'm going to draw 3 lines here. It's fucking going up now. I love it. So, all right. So on the left side of the curve, we're getting these higher highs and higher lows, right? And legs, right? Here on the right side, we're getting the lower lows and lower highs, obviously. And then once we're on this side of the curve, right, back from a higher low to a higher high, you can see that we push up to squeeze, lower high could be, right, but doesn't follow through. And eventually you see going to break through. You see support being held, and then we get another extension. Retraces back. Oh, what a coincidence. So you're telling me from the PM session of yesterday, they brought that shit right down to the tick and bounce from it right here? You're tripping. And also there's some other things I can mention here, but give me a second. So, yeah, and then comes to that 25%, retraces back in here, and then now you got your flow up. And your higher high and higher low should be now on the right side of the curve pushing up, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're in the 6th buy right now. All right. So, and obviously, coming back to the first imbalance of today. Oh boy, you don't say. So, and then obviously, disengineer liquidity. That would be a nice goal as well. And now we're pushing up for that target. So again, it's not going to happen on your time. If you're still holding, congratulations. I'm definitely not. But coming up into this first imbalance was good enough for me. And what are the beautiful sells here and having patience? Well, it's a dirty day, but this right here, from here down here, is a beautiful sell right here. And then the buy got this bitch in this candle. So if you're asking where should you put your stop loss and how much risk should you have, and you're mentioning something about you're having a 30 to 50 point stop loss, I don't really believe in having that big of a stop loss, because I understand that the flow here, the only stop loss I'm going to deal with is in current price action, meaning I'm not taking the buy here because it closed up here and then pushing my stop loss down here. I don't need to do that. If it's wrong, it's wrong. And this is a perfect example of like right here, where look at these fucking pussies. Look at this. Look at my circle. Just tag that bitch. Oh my goodness, son. Which is obviously what? Yesterday's high first. And then the step after that. Forget that guy, because that's already right there. Look at that. Oh, you pussies. Bro, I'm not going to be sitting here all day for that. But, again, dump, pump, right? In general speaking. And, fuck you. But anyways, as far as for me, I'm a sniper, but the change of delivery, like for example here, these 3 down candles, or the last down candle, like if I enter here on this candle, even if it raids and it pushes up, the 50%, notice how that comes to that 50%, but after it tags it and leaves it, my risk is right there. So, man, I don't want to make this long, dude. Let's just do this like this or something. Let's just do it like this. So initially it's going to, what did I just do? Shit. Initially it's always going to be like this, right? Let's just for the target for a second. So initially, if that's my entry, my stop loss is first here. I'm allowing it to tap in there. And once it goes away, I obviously have a risk of it tapping the open of this, but that's not likely. Or that guy right there to the left, where, it makes a head and shoulders, some people call it, right? So it'll be something like this at first. And then once it keeps going away, then it comes underneath this guy, right? And then after it's gone, it's like it's in break even, bro. Like I'm not like, I don't need to, if it's coming any lower, I don't want to be in the trade. But let's just say that's not your entry and this is your entry, right? Like now you're using the change of delivery, right? Because this is a change of delivery, right? We push above, we retrace back in it. Well, initially 50% of that area is where, well, let me do it this way. I'm going to do it just right there, right? From those down candles. Look where 50% of that range is. Do you notice that this comes into 50%? That's an entry method all by itself. Yes, it's that down candle too. But in general, that's where my stop loss should be under here, right? Because what it'll do is it'll come back in at 50%. Sometimes it doesn't, obviously. But then let's just go to a higher time frame real quick, and maybe I'll make it more clear there. Now, depending on what time frame you're trading on, like, you know, I don't know how else I could do this. Like, let's just say you bought here. Well, I want to go under a protective low. I'm not trying to have this is not my trade. Like, I'm not doing this. Let's put it like this. Like, I'm not doing that. Let's just for example here, let's just say that's the entry. And then this is your so-called 2R. Why won't it fucking go? All right. Like, I'm not doing this, right? I don't need to, it shouldn't come any lower than where? Well, this swing here. So, this swing here, we push up. All right. We retrace back. And once we come into this area and push back again, this becomes now my protected low. So literally, it's like now it's there. Like, I'm not doing anything different. I hope this is making sense for you. But you know, and here's another example. Like here's another change of delivery right here. You see this right here, and then we push above and we come back in. Let's just say that was my entry. Well, fuck me. This is so annoying. Let's just say that's my entry, right? Well, I'm not doing this. That's for sure. Right? I'm not doing that. You know, and it's initially always here, right? So when it comes down and it comes back in and it retraces, there's an imbalance right there on this time frame. Here's some more refined area. Well, I don't want it to come into here, so that's for sure. And here's a wick right there of this candle. That's 50%. I would do something like this, right? Where I don't want it to come any lower, right, than this area, period. Plus these gaps I have in my protection as well. So that's another example. Like, you know, and then if I keep moving forward, like even if we did this is another example. Here's a down candle. That's my entry, right? And we have a change of delivery that pops up, comes back in. Look how it tags that gap. But look at the candle. It's 50% of that candle. Let me move this over. I'm doing way too much right now, man. 50% right there. So I'm gonna knock it to there if it wants to tag that wick. If not, if it tags and it's a wick and it runs, I'm immediately coming now like now there, for example, as a minimum, right? And preferably even, you know, here, because it shouldn't be coming any lower. I want to make a new high. Once it makes the new high and retraces, well, I'm in break even. Even though they say you should allow this low made the high, or that low made the high. And what if it fails and breaks? Sure, but why do if the price is coming back down here, I'm not in the trade. No, sir. But I hope that makes sense, because, you know, even if you go back to the higher time frame, some people are like, okay, boom, right here. You know, oh, we had a change of delivery here, and I'm buying on this right there. And it's like, I'm not doing this. Like, and you want to go for your 2R, okay, for example. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, first of all, I'm a day trader, right? I'm not really a swing trader per se, obviously, as you know that. But, you know, this is not something I'm looking for, because why? My entry is here. I don't want it to come down here. Why? If it's coming any lower, that's a problem. And to be honest with me, I wouldn't even want to be in the trade. But that is an entry method here, right? So and then this candle, this 11 o'clock, comes into that wick. Yeah, I'm doing way too much, man. But you know, hope this is helping and making sense. And, you know, this is the other catalyst of when we were initially coming down, we had dollar pushing up. So and then now dollar is still pushing up, so not that relevant. Here you'll see that some other clues here. Look at the 5 minute, very clear with with exhaustion in the wicks here. You had lower highs here, and then you had higher lows. I'm sorry, higher highs there. So that pushed us down. Once we came down, we had this nice divergence here with Dow, just with these candles here, and then we had lower lows here with S&P and NAS, so that pushed us up. And then we pushed up here, and then Dow made a high. We were still down here, and then this looked like it was gonna pan out as a lower high because we had lower highs here, and then higher highs there. But then this really is what did it. This, let me delete this and then put this here for you. Here's your continuation. And you can see that Dow takes out like this low right here. So we have a lower low here and then higher lows right there. Push us up. So pretty simple. Mentioned Dow is going to be definitely bullish. Keep these lows here, but preparing for CPI. But they're up here now, so that panned out. Speaker there, super ugly day. I don't actually really like Tuesdays, to be honest with you, too much. They're kind of funny to me, cause but yeah, we what's this? S&P still pushing up, melting up here, and wanted to come forward that. Pretty much damn near yesterday's low, even though this was the low, but they swiped those guys out and then closed back bullish with the candle. So super dirty. And speaker there, dump, and then finally the pump, lugs all the way up for the rest of the day. And that's where we're at. So and as you can see, our first imbalance here. So working out, and beautiful sell there. Even look at the buys right there. Look at that. Boom. See that? So these are all used in the PM session. Again, that's the problem with not trading all day, so to speak, is because I'm gonna miss the rest of the move in general speaking. So what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something else. Oh, and this, I measured this here. So it was a little bit sloppy here. So I measured this low to this high, right? This swing from this swing here, the bull flag right here, the swing. That's what this is. And if you see it, I saw it better today. -1 to 1.5. If I move it over, that price action initially came into it, right? And then we came up to the 2 to 2.5 right here, and it was looking really good. So I used this. I'm gonna keep this one. And you can see when we made the high yesterday, we retraced back into that 1 and 1.5, and obviously a little bit lower for a discount. And then and so on. So and then the 3.5 to 4 is up here. I have confluence with this level here, obviously. So that's the highs of the circle, and then that's the last week's high. And then this guy right here, this little guy up here, you see it? You'll see what I'm aiming at is that guy up there. See this guy up here, right here, right there. So that's exactly that high I'm looking at. And the confluence of this positive 2 standard deviation. So you can see the speaker, right? You see that? So that's what that guy was there. So and he's a -3 as well. So the circle is the -3.5, the positive 2 standard, and that guy right there, that little piece of liquidity right there that sold from there, right? So that's what that target is. And as you can see, what's the fucking high of this? I make videos too long. High is 963. So 963. Okay. 963 is right there, the top of that circle. All right. So that's after this, that agenda would be here. And then Nvidia was just fucking around all day. and then now they're trying to use this as an inversion and push up. They didn't make another low. So we would have came deeper into this area here if they were coming down. But again, preparing for slow motion for CPI. So again, that's why not interested in these first 2 weeks of the month. And did I go over everything pretty much? 25 minutes, still long. You know, if I go over trades and I go, well, I just can't do it. Anyways, so very, very simply, the 15 year, again, the 15 year and the 30 year are still panning out right now, but the 30 year, this is really critical right here, because the 5 year, I'm sorry. Again, I'm gonna do the 5 year for again, and I made these drawings yesterday, but the 5 year, it does this, but then it pretty much, again, either it sells from here, all right, like it literally, what the fuck? Oh my god, what's happening here? Okay, that was weird. It's, I mean, it's, you know, it's gone. It's gone. Okay, it's coming down, like all the way down. That's the 5 year. Okay, from here, or I'll say this again, or from up here, right? Like either it sweeps up here, like up here, or it really like comes to here, which I don't see that, but let's just say it does, right? And then it comes. That's the 5 year, okay. Which is, I'm not expecting that. Okay, and then in the 15 year and the 5 year, we've done this. We came down with this, and I said in the 9th, 10th day, we are buying through into about, let's just say, the 17, 18 or some shit. So, I mean, we should not be coming any lower anymore. That ship has sailed. So, I mean, you know, you could do something like this. You're either going to push back and buy. Oh, by the way, I mentioned that we should come down and tag this down candle. These two down candles, see that? Look at this. Look to the right. Oh, you can't see it. But we came into there too, by the way. So, which is here. The down candle is right here. To the left on the daily. And then to the right, you'll see that's where that wick is. Where the wicks came in. Twice. So, I mentioned that yesterday. But, yeah, so the 15 year, it should just be buying here. So if it doesn't pull back, it should just buy from here and just go straight up. Make new highs, all-time highs. And then get till about, let's see here, about that 17 or 18 type of shit. And, god damn, where is it? So much in the day. Anyways. And then come back in. That's it. That's all I'm gonna. And then the fourth quarter pushes up. So this is what I expect. And it should just be really pushing up. And you know, to be more specific on the days. Let me see here. That would be like the 20th. So the 19th. Yeah, man. 18. 17, 18, 19. So 17, 19, 17, 18, 19, 20. You know, we're pushing up until around that area. And then sinking for the rest of the last 10 days of the month. Like the last 10 days of the month are literally all selling. So I think I've said enough here. Hope this helps. You guys take care. God bless.